Hello and welcome to the installation of a Vitoria competition rally tubular tire mated to a Mavic GP4 tubular tire rim with some Shimano 600 and Campagnolo Super Record. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Anyways, up here is always nice. I'm using some LePage's contact cement. I'm using 100% horse bristle hair that I've cut the brush at a angle that I like to work with when I'm doing this kind of work. So today I'm going to start at the valve hole, and what I do is I just dab glue onto the locations where the tubular tire are going to make contact with, because you got to glue both surfaces up, the tubular tire and the rim. You allow the glue to set or dry. After you dab, you take your brush and draw the material across the mating surfaces, and you go around the whole perimeter of the rim until both the surface is completely coated with glue. And likewise, you take your tubular tire, starting at the valve stem and dabbing material around the valve stem and along the material that will come into contact with the rim. So I take my brush, dip it in the glue, and dab and draw the material across the surface. I find that's the most effective technique. Dabbing and drawing. Dabbing and drawing. I'm just emphasizing the point. Try to keep the glue off of the gum rubber sidewalls. Once the surface has been completely coated with glue, you let it set. And in today's weather, it's about 25 degrees outside, and relative humidity is probably about 40% or so, so it doesn't take long for wet things to dehydrate. It's a nice summer day in the city of Calgary, Alberta. Okay, so I have completely glued the surface of the tubular tire just smoothing out any deficiencies, adding any more material where I need to, and to just make one more inspection to verify that the surface has an equal amount of glue equally spread out. Any glue you do get on the gum walls, promptly wipe away. Don't be afraid to get your fingers dirty. Okay, so the tubular tire is glued up. The Mavic GP4 rim is glued. And it's drying. The tubular tire is drying. I take my brush and I have a jar, and I add a little bit of solvent hand wash my brush so that I'm able to use it for another application. While I'm waiting for the glue to dry on the tube and the rim, I'm going to have a sip of beer. Yum. And for those adventurous types, I have a okay, so to conclude the video, now that the tubular tire and all the glue has dried, I'm going to insert the valve stem into the valve stem hole in the rim and just pull the tire onto the rim. It's going to take a little bit of effort because it'll slip and slide, but you can fight it on there just like that. So. Alright, so I have the rim and tire mounted. I just have to center it. Before I let the glue set. And I'll get my pump and pump up the tire to approximately 80 psi and just let it sit overnight before I drive it on it. So that's just the basics of installing a tubular tire onto a rim, and please join me again for another future video. Thanks, come again.